Hi, my name is Nyla Allen, and I was interning with Health Forward Foundation, an organization that seeks to support and build equitable communities characterized by racial equity and economically just systems. I will be expanding on the importance of developing and incorporating DE&I in leadership to help build a more inclusive workplace. The lack of DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion are at the surface level of why certain individuals experience trauma in the workplace. So, with that being said, how do we communicate more effectively to shift the narrative to build a more inclusive and impactful environment that is mindful to others' trauma? Let's take a look at some statistics. 77% of the U.S. workforce is made up of Caucasians, Latinos/Latinas make up 18%, African Americans make up 17%, and Asians make up 7%. Well, when you see that, you notice that there is a lack of mainly diversity, but also inclusion. So what is diversity and inclusion? Diversity allows room for expansion and growth of the organization to be able to serve themselves and further serve the community. Inclusion ensures that you are able to bring your whole self to the discussions and environment that are safe without having to diminish your own self. So, in order to implement more diversity and inclusion, organizations need to first recruit, educate, and retain employees of different backgrounds throughout the organization, starting with great leadership to improve the well-being of those within the workplace to further increase the impact of how well communities are being served. The second solution would be the act of implementing trauma-informed care in the workplace, starting with once a month. After Health Forward has implemented trauma-informed care and it is actually effective, they can work with other organizations to create similar seminars to educate an even larger amount of employees on the importance of self-awareness and wholeness to increase employee satisfaction, thereby increasing community outreach. So what is trauma-informed care? It is the act of identifying the impact of trauma and understanding paths of recovery and actively avoiding re-traumatization. These pictures represent the problem that occur with African Americans, Asians, people who identify themselves as LGBTQIA+, and people of Hispanic culture. These are problems that happen outside of the workplace, but there are still problems that occur in the workplace like discrimination, harassment, and inequitable experiences. So when you implement trauma-informed care into the workplace, certain individuals are able to freely speak about their work, about what they've experienced and the traumatic experiences. This may increase the tension, this may release the tension, opinions, and biases/narratives that others have sought out to be true about these individuals. After everyone has talked through their experiences, they may feel a sense of inclusion. They may feel that they are valued and that they will always have a seat at the table. So the plan for all of this to take place will be within a 12-month period. First step would be hiring new people. Second would be implementing trauma-informed care. And thirdly would be possibly implementing trauma-informed care into other organizations so that more employees are aware of these problems. This time frame allows new employees to feel free and comfortable to share their past experiences. This period of time will also be a test trial for the Trauma-Informed Care Act and to see if it will actually be, effective. On this slide is a total of all expenses. One-time trauma-informed session is estimated for $700. A second option would be a 3-time trauma-informed care, which would be around $950. And then the third option is the expansion on trauma-informed care, which would be with more organizations in a similar seminar setting, which would be about $2,000. The total amount for all expenses would range from $2,700 to $2,950. Possible discussion for book talks, discussion of possible further outreaches, and lastly, the most important factor would be the discussion around traumatic experiences that happen to these individuals will also be included in these services. I am Nyla Allen. I am with Health Forward Foundation. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.